Making the headlines tonight. Prime Minister Hun Sen accepts an invitation from President Volodymyr Zelensky to visit Ukraine in the near future. Prime Minister Hun Sen says although Cambodia is a less developed country, it has a highly open economy through regional and global economic integration. And fashion designer Rainier Abellio launches his latest collection to commemorate the 8th anniversary of his fashion label Armada. This is the Daily Roundup here on EAC News Channel. A very good evening to you. I'm Darshana Gauchen. Prime Minister Hun Sen has accepted an invitation from President Volodymyr Zelensky to visit Ukraine in the near future. The Prime Minister accepted the invitation during a telephone conversation with the President of Ukraine on Tuesday afternoon, according to a press release issued by the Cambodian Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. During the call, the Prime Minister also mentioned that the last time he had visited Ukraine was in 1981. Russia launched an invasion of Ukraine on 24th February earlier this year, which it called a special military operation and which Russian President Vladimir Putin justified by saying that there was an urgent need for Russia to demilitarize Ukraine in order to protect the Donbas Republic and ensure that Russia will not be under NATO threat from Ukrainian territory. Over 8 months have passed since the war began. The invasion has caused the deaths of tens of thousands in both Ukraine and Russia and triggered a major refugee crisis in Europe, the largest since World War II. According to the UNHCR, more than 7 million refugees from Ukraine have been recorded across Europe, with over 6 million internally displaced. Following the start of the invasion, a wave of sanctions have been placed on Russia and its ally Belarus. The combined effect of the war and sanctions has severely impacted economies around the world and caused global food shortages. Cambodia has been a staunch opponent of Russian aggression, voting against the invasion and demanding that Russia withdraw its troops from Ukraine. However, Cambodia has also expressed that it does not support sanctions placed against Russia, as these sanctions cause widespread losses to all. The Prime Minister of Cambodia has expressed his condolences to the President of Ukraine for the loss of lives caused by the war in the country. Prime Minister Hun Sen held a telephone meeting with President Volodymyr Zelensky on Tuesday afternoon, where he told the Ukrainian president that no war can end with war. EAC News reporter Dekanin has more.
According to a press release issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, the Prime Minister re-emphasized the importance of peaceful negotiations and resolutions in the Ukraine war during his call with President Zelensky. He spoke about Cambodia's experience with war and urged Ukraine and Russia to hold talks to find a solution. Prime Minister Hun Sen reiterated the importance of peaceful negotiations and peaceful resolution and hoped that all parties concerned will strive for a comprehensive solution to end the war in Ukraine so that Ukraine can regain peace, stability, territorial integrity, and development, the statement said. In response, President Zelensky expressed his appreciation and gratitude for Cambodia's support, co-sponsorship of the United Nations General Assembly resolutions, and firm position on the war in Ukraine. Prime Minister Hun Sen also showed concern over recent attacks on Ukraine's capital, Kyiv, as well as other cities in the country, which have caused many deaths, injuries, and severe damage to civilian infrastructure, as well as serious energy and food crisis, along with rising inflation all over the world. The Prime Minister spoke of the suffering that Cambodia also went through during its period of war and emphasized that it was through this experience that he gained a personal understanding that war cannot be ended by war. Regarding bilateral relations between Cambodia and Ukraine, Prime Minister Hun Sen requested that the two countries appoint and exchange ambassadors with each other, to which President Zelensky responded to very positively. At the end of the call, President Zelensky invited Prime Minister Hun Sen to pay an official visit to Ukraine at a suitable time in the near future, which the Prime Minister accepted. President Zelensky also posted a tweet on his official Twitter account after the telephone meeting, stated that he's spoken with Prime Minister Hun Sen and thanked Cambodia as the ASEAN chair for supporting Ukraine's sovereignty and territorial integrity. The president also assured that Ukraine would remain a guarantor of food security for ASEAN countries. Rekanin, EAC News.
Prime Minister Hun Sen has told the President of Ukraine, Volodymyr Zelensky, that Cambodia will send D-miners to help train the country that is suffering from war. EAC News reporter Pon Sotirot has more.
In a telephone meeting with the Ukrainian president on Tuesday afternoon, Prime Minister Hun Sen stated that in cooperation with Japan, Cambodia is ready to send Cambodian deminers to help train Ukrainian deminers in a timely manner. In response, President Zelensky sang and welcomed Cambodia for its intentions to provide demining assistance. As a country that has been through decades of wars, Cambodia can now be considered a country that specializes in demining and unexploded ordnance. Cambodia plans to eliminate all mines by 2025. Ponstirat, EACU.
The Prime Minister of Cambodia has said that although Cambodia is a less developed country, it has a highly open economy through regional and global economic integration, which is in line with the objectives of the ASEAN Agreement. EAC News reporter Anthony Ellis has more.
Addressing the opening ceremony of the High-Level Constitution Forum on the occasion of the 10th anniversary of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement and the official announcement of the second book of the Asian Economic Research Institute of the ASEAN East Asia on Wednesday morning, Prime Minister Hun Sen said that Cambodia welcomes and will always aim to establish a free trade area, even though Cambodia is a less developed country. In addition, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement entered into force on the 1st of January 2022. There's also a Cambodia-China bilateral free trade agreement that entered into force, and the Cambodian-Korea Free Trade Agreement will also enter force on the 1st of December 2022. The Prime Minister added that Cambodia is continuing to examine the possibility of free trade agreements with other partner countries. A study by Area showed that at the beginning of 2022, Cambodia's GDP was likely to increase by 2% to 3.8%. At the same time, exports were expected to grow by around 9.4% to 18%, the annual job opportunities by 3.2% to 6.2%. Meanwhile, annual tax revenue was set to increase by about 2% to 3.9%, while overall investments was expected to increase by 23.4%. Anthony Ellis, EAC News.
The Prime Minister of Cambodia has announced that the Cambodia-Korea Free Trade Agreement will enter into force on 1st December 2022. This announcement was made by the Prime Minister during the high-level forum for the occasion of the 10th anniversary of the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership Agreement of ASEAN on Wednesday morning. Signed on 26 October 2021 by the Minister of Commerce Pan So-sak and the Minister of Commerce of the Republic of Korea Yeo Han-gu, Cambodia expects the Cambodia-Korea Free Trade Agreement to boost exports, increase the GDP and employment, which will help revive the economy from the effects of COVID-19. This agreement will be a major driving force in boosting trade and investment flows between Cambodia and South Korea with mutual benefits, and will especially help to accelerate the economic recovery of the two countries after the severe impact of the COVID-19 pandemic. In addition, the free trade agreement will contribute to the promotion of long-term partnerships, will strengthen economic partnerships and market access, including the export of Cambodian products to South Korea, will allow for the transfer of technology, knowledge, and skills from South Korea and abroad, and will create new jobs. Filipino fashion designer Rainier Abelio launched his latest collection entitled Spectrum Gala, A Feast for Crows, to commemorate the 8th anniversary of his fashion label Armada. EAC News reporter Dekanin attended the special gala event to celebrate Armada's 8 years in the business.
The fashion show gala event, launching the new collection, was a feast for the senses, attended by numerous designers, models, celebrities, influencers, and Abelio's dearest friends to mark a night down memory lane, commemorating the brand's journey from its conception until now. The new collection pays homage to past collections with tweaks made to fit current and future trends, and is like imagining a dysfunctional family reunion that makes up the Armada family as a whole. The gala was presented by 1664 Blanc in partnership with Tribe Phnom Penh and AB Studio and directed by fellow Filipino fashion designer Don Protasio. Abelio said he has spent most of his life invested in this brand to the point where he now wholeheartedly equates the brand to his own identity. The show had everything that he wanted to present, from the visuals to the music, featuring a ballet performance by Svetlana Epifanova, a live performance of Think of Me by Kimberly Hugo, the theme song from his favorite movie Schindler's List, the soundtrack of his current favorite TV show House of the Dragons, and spoken verse from Revelations.
Think of me, think of me waking silent beside me, imagine me once in a while. Please promise me you will try me. Recall those days, look back on all those things, think of the things we never do.
I think that movie, there's no other movie that shows, how it is to be a human in a very inhumane environment. It gave you hope in a society with some good and kindness still exists amongst the chaos. My Schindler's List is a reverse, actually, because in the movie, this guy put together a list of people that he will save. But then for my case, it's a reverse. I have a list of people that actually saved me.
The majority of the guest list was made up of Bellio's closest friends who have been there for him during his most difficult times. Yulia Kuri has known Abellio for over a decade, ever since he first arrived in Cambodia and even before he launched his brand. He remembered going to see his first fashion and immediately falling in love with his aesthetic.
My all-time favorite is a very first look of a very first fashion show, when the look where the model comes in with a ship on his hat. And I think it kind of defines who Ray is. Very bold, doesn't feel obliged to follow any rules, has made up his own rules, and also extremely dramatic in everything he does. And so that's why I think, as a friend, as a designer, as a creative, that's what you look for somebody who doesn't afraid to make a statement.
Abellio agreed that the ship has now become something of a sigil for the brand and was proudly featured on the runway again for A Feast for Crow. Many of the guests were also fellow designers, one of whom was Tiffany Doce, the designer for the brand Riviere. She said she has been a big fan of Armada since she moved to Cambodia from France about 2 years ago, and what kept drawing her back to fashion show after fashion show was the strong storytelling element of each new collection.
Because every collection is unique. It's a different story, and every design is always amazing and very interesting to details and the story, the concept about the collection. Every time it's always amazing.
After watching the show, Shasnay Suleimanova said she had to hold back tears because fashion is so important to her, and she was so inspired by what Abellio had achieved. She said she especially loved seeing the theatrical elements embedded in the fashion show, and said she is so thankful to Abellio for being her inspiration.
He creates the art pieces, like masterpieces. It's real art in the fashion. But when you wear it, you really feel powerful. You feel like Armada Army. He is the inspiration for me. He is the person who always, inspire me, who always encourage me and tell what I can improve, how can I improve first of all. That's why he's like my fashion father, I could say, in Cambodia.
Matthew, a model in the fashion show, said he only started modeling about a year ago, so when he first heard about the unique concept of this runway, he was nervous and did not think he could deliver. However, he worked hard to study references to make sure that he would do the show properly and meet expectations. He added that he has always been a fan of Armada, but was especially impressed by how Abellio gave the models freedom to show off the clothes in their own style and not simply walk down the runway.
Not only the collection itself is very impressive, but also he allows the model to really, bring out their inner actors and actresses on the runway. We're not just walking, we're literally performing on the runway. So that's cool. Yeah.
Abellio said he knows that when people think of Armada, they think of drama. With spoken words from Revelations, he said he wants to make sure that everyone understands that people who wear Armada are not wallflowers.
Of course, we're about drama, we're about tailoring, we're about making a statement. People who wears Armada don't sit in the corner and expect that she will just melt with the background. People who's wearing Armada is always those people who are I want to be noticed, I want to show off. And because for me, fashion has two functions. It's either to hide and to show. And for my case, Armada is to show.
The after party included a sneak peek performance of local singer Sam Rocker's latest album and a set by DJ Brandon. As to what's next for Abellio, he said he will try to first get a week's sleep before continuing on his next project, but he teased that his favorite collection is still yet to come. Spectrum Gala, A Feast for Crows, is nothing short of spectacular Armada drama. Everyone who came here got everything that they wanted and more. If you want to know more about Armada, you can always check out their website and also their store at the factory Phnom Penh. I'm Dekanin, EAC News, Tribe Hotel, Phnom Penh.
If it's happening and you need to know about it, you'll get it all right here. EAC News brings you updates and breaking news in English across all of our platforms and channels. The EAC News app, YouTube, Facebook, Telegram, Twitter, and our website www.eacnews.asia. Join me and the rest of the EAC News team every day on your favorite channels. EAC News, Cambodia made clear.
Thank you for watching the Daily Roundup here on EAC News Channel. For more breaking news and updates, you can check out our website, eacnews.asia, or search EAC News on Telegram, Smart TV, or at your favorite app store. More from the EAC News team tomorrow night at 8 p.m. We will see you then.